Let's go. Let's go. Give me a go Tigers in the comments. Let Chat Sports know that LSU is now QBU. Are you kidding me? The best quarterbacks in the country want to come to LSU, and we've been through so much, Tiger fans. The Brandon Harris years, Anthony Jennings, Andrew Hatch. Oh my God. You guys remember those, right? And now we are here. Like, literally, the number one quarterback still has LSU in his top three. Also, a future Manning in Baton Rouge? Are you kidding me? And who can forget the nation's number one defensive end is also interested in LSU. That's all coming up, plus a decommitment. But first, I'm a positive person. We've got some great news to share. Walker Howard is a Tiger. Yes, the son of Jamie, quarterback in the 90s in the Curly Hallman years. Walker Howard, class of 2022, the number 3 quarterback in the class, out of the 337. What's up, Lafayette? Is committed to LSU. It's not really a surprise because of the LSU lineage, plus his backstory about his mom passing away. This has just been the best story of the week. And I want to share this quote. He was screaming after I told him, Ed Orgeron, I was a Tiger. And he said he got those goosebumps after I told him about my mom and the role that she played. Wow. He's just the kind of guy I want to play for. Goodness, this is just great news. Now, there is a caveat here. Walker Howard didn't even start for his team last year. Caleb Holstein did, who is a Louisiana Tech commit. Now, remember that name Holstein, because I got a really cool story for you at the end of the video. But he was a backup to Holstein as St. Thomas More won the state championship last year. So his numbers aren't really all that impressive, but that's because he wasn't the starter. Now, I said QBU at the beginning of the video because LSU's quarterback room is now loaded. Obviously, Miles Brennan is going to be the starter. I think he's going to be fantastic. But his backups become very interesting. Peter Parrish, he was suspended at the start of spring. No telling what his status is with the team. He is still, though, on the official roster. You also have TJ Finley and Max Johnson from the class of 2020. And then Garrett Nussmeier from the class of 2021 is already committed. He might not be the only quarterback that'll commit in this cycle. And then, of course, you have Walker Howard. So, when Miles Brennan is done playing quarterback at LSU in 2022, who is going to take over as the starter? Type TJ for TJ Finley. Type MJ for Max Johnson, who is the son of Brad Johnson. Type GN for Garrett Nussmeier. Type WH for Walker Howard. And I'm still going to stick with Garrett Nussmeier. I love him out of Flower Mound, Texas. I think he has the best arm out of this group. And I can't wait to see what he does with LSU down the road. But it is up in the air, so let me know what you think in the comments section below. Now this is where it gets even more interesting. LSU is still in the running for Caleb Williams. Yeah, you remember him? The number one quarterback in the nation out of the nation's capital? Are you kidding me? He has a decision coming up on July 4th. LSU is still in his top 3 alongside Maryland, obviously, and Oklahoma. So, I don't know. Everyone is saying Oklahoma. I'm not ready to count LSU out yet. So, I'm going to throw it out to you again. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Will this 5-star quarterback end up in Baton Rouge? I'm going to type in simply because LSU already has a commit. And Lincoln Riley, you can't really argue against the 2 Heisman trophies that he's won with his quarterbacks. And last year also having a Heisman finalist. So who doesn't want to go play quarterback at Oklahoma? So I'm going to go with no. Now, Father's Day is just around the corner. Go to chatsports.com/LSU Dad for a super cool Father's Day t-shirt. But we're not done. You know, the face coverings that we're all having to wear right now? Go to chatsports.com/LSU mask, and you'll see some really cool face coverings from us at Chat Sports. So check it out. Support the video by going to those links. Now, let's chat about the only bad news coming in this video. Dakota Mitchell, 3-star safety class of 2021. He has decommitted from LSU. Tigers still have 4-star Kari G committed. And don't forget, Sage Ryan, the number 1 safety in the country, is also from Lafayette. You guys are just taking over all my videos now. Like, are all the good players in Lafayette, Louisiana? Anyway, Sage Ryan, heavy LSU lean. He's also related to running backs coach Kev Falk. So, Dakota Mitchell decommitting, not the end of the world. But this is a big commitment. Set your date, June 24th. Garrett Dellinger will announce where he's going to school. This is a 4-star offensive tackle out of Michigan. And there's a caveat. He is a heavy LSU lean right now. The Tigers have 0 offensive line commits in this class. So, a huge recruit. LSU only got 3 offensive linemen in last year's class. And on top of that, Dellinger's teammate Rocco Spindler, I love that name, Rocco, also has LSU in his top 5. He is a 4-star offensive guard. And the problem, if LSU for some reason doesn't get Dellinger, the tackles are starting to drop like flies. So, J.C. Latham committed to Alabama this week. He was a 5-star offensive tackle. Tommy Brockermeyer is a 5-star offensive tackle. He's leaning Bama or Texas. 5-star Marius Mims is leaning towards Georgia. 5-star Tristan Lee, Penn State or Clemson. And 4-star Savion Byrd is leaning towards SMU. So, Dellinger is a big time player for the Tigers. Now let's chat 2020. We are going to have college football. Remember, positive thoughts. Who will be LSU's toughest opponent next year? Type F for Florida, type B for Bama, or type O for other. Now, Texas A&M and Auburn are on the road. Those are going to be tough games at the end of November. But I'm not even going to pick Bama because that game is going to be in Tiger Stadium after a bye. I'm going to go with Florida. That game is on the road. LSU has an easy start to the schedule. They do have that week 2 game against Texas, but I think Florida is going to be good. I like Kyle Trask. I like what Dan Mullen's doing with that program, and getting back to the swamp is going to be tough. Remember, Florida was a tough game for LSU, and Dan Mullen has always given LSU problems. So I'm going to go F for Florida, with Bama a close second. Don't forget, chatsports.com/LSU mask. Get your face mask. You need it. Also, chatsports.com/LSU dad for your Father's Day t-shirts. I'll tell you, the national championship gear at Fanatics is so good. But check out that Father's Day shirt. Now, the latest with Corey Foreman. We're talking the number 1 overall player in the country. Is he going to come to LSU? I'm starting to think this is a possibility, even though he is all the way in California. He has mentioned that LSU and Georgia are the 2 big schools that have been recruiting him. You see this quote here talking about Christian Lacouture and Ed Orgeron, 2 LSU coaches recruiting after him pretty hard. And he's talking about wanting to visit more and more and play alongside Rajon Davis, who is a 4-star linebacker commit right now with LSU. Now, because Rajon Davis went from a 5-star to a 4-star, LSU has 0 5-star commits right now. That might change soon with Mason Smith out of Houma, Louisiana, a 5-star defensive tackle. Mason wants to play alongside Corey Foreman and vice versa, so that could end up being the package deal of the century for Ed Orgeron, who specializes in coaching the defensive line. So we'll see what happens there. I do want to show you this list. LSU's top 5 recruits ever, or let me put it this way. LSU's history, a top 5 overall recruits. These are players that were top 5 players in their own recruiting class. Last year, it was Arik Gilbert. The year before, it was Derek Stingley Jr. Then you have to go all the way back to 2014 with Leonard Fournette. 2011, Lyle Collins, Russell Shepard, and Early Doucette rounds out the list. Stingley, Fournette, and Collins, all 3 of them were All-Americans. Gilbert is likely to be the same. So if you do get Corey Foreman, judging by recent history, you are getting an a defensive line All-American. Now, before we get to this Manning news, you guys love these videos. I love feedback from you guys. Hit the subscribe button so you never miss an LSU video. Ring the bell so you'll get notified for all of my LSU content with Chat Sports. Subscribe. And of course, give me a go Tigers in the comments. Now, to round things out here, as my microphone for some reason falls over, I want to show you this. And this just made me laugh. I've been wanting to save it for this video. When Ed Orgeron sent a happy birthday to Archie Manning. Now, it seemed like just an innocent happy birthday with that tweet. But you need to remember that Archie's grandson, Arch Manning, is going to be one of the most sought-after recruits ever. Now, you got to go all the way to class of 2023 for Arch Manning. He is the nephew of Eli and Payton and the son of Cooper. He also goes to Isidore Norman High School in New Orleans, which is where Payton and Eli went, as well as Odell Beckham Jr. They also have one of the a point guard there, his name slips my mind. Will Wade just offered him as well. So this is a factory of professional athletes. Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Duke are some other schools that Manning will probably look at. But it's just to throw it out there. That would be kind of weird, though, to see a Manning with the Tigers, right? Because Peyton played for Tennessee and Eli played for Ole Miss. I don't know. I guess that would be kind of weird. Now, remember, I told you to remember the name Caleb Holstein from St. Thomas More, who went to Louisiana Tech. His little brother is Eli Holstein, who plays in Zachary. Eli Holstein has an LSU offer as well from the class of 2023. LSU, in fact, has already offered a few other quarterbacks from the class of 2023. And this just goes to show you that LSU is now a big-time quarterback school. Arch Manning is going to consider LSU because of proximity. Who wouldn't? But Eli Holstein is probably the more likely candidate. And it's crazy now that you have Walker Howard from the year before. You have to go all the way back to 2018. That was the last year LSU offered a Louisiana quarterback, who indeed was Justin Rogers. What a video! We covered everything. We didn't even have time to discuss Bryant Thomas Jr., a 4-star wide receiver who has LSU in his top 4 out of Louisiana. So there's so much we didn't get to. Comment below. Who will be the heir apparent to Miles Brennan? Also, Caleb Williams. Is this still a real possibility? Let me know what you think about Dellinger, Mims, whoever. We'll discuss in the comment section below. Shout out, as always, to Alicia editing our videos. I know you guys piled on Dylan last week, being from Oklahoma State. That was so much fun. But I've got to say this. The whole Chat Sports team, they're the one that make me look kind of good. So comment below. Show some love for Chat Sports with the subscriptions. Don't forget, chatsports.com/LSU mask, chatsports.com/LSU dad. We have your face coverings. We have your Father's Day gifts. Hey, the mask could also be a Father's Day gift. It will sneak up on you before you know it, all right? My name is Carter. Let's connect on social media. I am at Carter the Power, and we'll talk to you next week with Chat Sports.